All right, we got a big one now to talk about. Big noon, first Fox Big Noon Saturday game. Gus and Joel back again in our lives. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, they'll be there at the shoe. Texas Longhorns, Ohio State Buckeyes, Ohio 2.5, Ohio State 2.5-point home favorites, 47.5 the total. Julian Sayin has won the job. I always expected him to be the starting quarterback here for Ohio State. Now, it's going to be interesting to see. You do go, like, say what you will about what he's going to do at the next level, Will Howard, but he fit this program well. He was terrific in the playoff for Ohio State en route to the national championship victory last year. You got to downgrade the Ohio State offense, at least a little bit, from what it was last year, because Julian Sayin was like a 5-star recruit, I think, to Alabama at one point. That tells you all you need to know about just the hype and expectations there were with him. And the good news for Sayin here with this Ohio State team is he does have weapons to work with. Even with Egbuka gone, and it starts obviously with Jeremiah Smith, certainly a Heisman contender without a doubt. He's going to be absolutely terrific. I like, too, that they bring in Max Clare from Purdue. He's a very good tight end. That was a nice get for Ryan Day for this Ohio State offense. That's certainly something that should help going into this season. Don't sleep on Carnell Tate and Brandon Innes either at the receiver spot. They're really good players, too, for Ohio State. The O-line, that's going to be the unit to monitor here going into this game. I'm not totally sure it's going to be nearly as good, but they do have 3 starters back, so it should still be a pretty solid above average offensive line. There's no question. The defense, meanwhile, for Ohio State now, we know they had a pretty good last year's defense was pretty good overall, and they were well coordinated and well coached. Not only was it a very good defense overall, Ohio State on all 3 levels, D-line, linebacker, secondary, but they were also very well coached and coordinated by Jim Knowles. Well, Jim Knowles is gone. He went to Penn State, the former Ohio State defensive coordinator, now at Penn State, and of all people to hire Matt Patricia, really? That's the guy we're going to bring in to be the defensive coordinator here at Ohio State. To say that hire does not impress me would be an understatement. You know my thoughts and feelings about Matt Patricia here. I got to see it because I thought his defenses have underachieved in the past, have been nowhere near as good as they've not played to their talent level in the past at times under Matt Patricia. Now, this is college, not the pros. So I know some people might give him the benefit of the doubt, but like I said, I got to downgrade just until I see it. What the defense from my own 2 eyes, I have to downgrade the defense because I think the personnel is worse this year across the board. They lost a lot from that defense, and I don't like the DC hire. You can't tell me Matt Patricia on paper is a better defensive coordinator than Jim Knowles. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that with a straight face. So from that standpoint, I've got to downgrade the defense. And that could be trouble because we know Texas here brings in the kid wonder, Arch Manning, from one of the most famous football families of all time, the Mannings. They expect big things from him. They've got Wisner and Baxter back in the running back group, DeAndre Moore and Ryan Wingo, 2 outstanding receivers for Texas. They should be a really good offensive team. There's no doubt. Now, meanwhile, on the defensive side of the football, too, for Texas, there's reasons for pretty solid optimism from this group. And, Arch Manning, we think he's ready for this. Now, again, we're going on the road, first game of the year. But, again, it's a defense with a new coordinator and new faces. So there's reason to expect that even though it's the first road outing here for Arch Manning, there's definitely potential that he could still thrive. And now, again, we don't have a ton of opportunities to see him in big spots, obviously, because he was behind Ewers all that time in Texas. But like I said, he does have a rebuilding defense to go through. I do lean Texas, but like I said, it feels like I don't know if I want to bet him here because the hype is just so massive for Arch. And I don't know if I want to be on that hype train right away on the road until I see it for myself. Yeah. But I've got enough questions about Ohio State that I really don't want to back them either, even though they're laying now less than a field goal at home. So this is more of a watch game for me. It's a fascinating game. It's arguably the biggest game on Saturday's board, this one. But like I said, I lean Texas, but I don't expect to be betting it. It's just a lean for me on the Texas side in this one. What do you think here, C-Mac? Obviously, it's a great matchup, Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch gone and a bunch still there when you look at this from the rematch of this game. Which was really, really good until the fourth quarter.
Right, playoff rematch, semifinal rematch, correct? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State scored that touchdown with about 6-7 minutes left. And of course, Texas has the scoop and score from Sawyer just ended it.
Yep.
But I thought the game, the yards, everything was pretty even in that matchup. It was a pretty good game. What I was on there was the under, team total under. For Texas, I had both. I think this is an under. This is hit. I'm even looking at the first half under because I just think there's a feeling out here a little bit. Ohio State has got new QB. Their offensive line you talked about. I think their defense is still going to be pretty good here with the changes. I mean, this was the top defense in the country. Texas, on the other hand, third best defense in the country.
Yes.
That was very, very good. And I think the offense is going to take a little bit of time here for Ohio State. Maybe it opens up here in the second half, but I think this first half under is the way to go. And there is still a bunch of talent. I mean, Texas still at Weiser's there at running back. Of course, they lost some of their wideouts, but I think they'll be all right. And Arch Manning, as much as saying this is his first start, he's played some, but I mean, he isn't a regular. Like, he has been out there slinging it for even a half a year. So I just think there's some nerves here. Probably some first half 2 field goal or even missed field goals in this game. I could see a bunch. And Texas, I think their defense is solid. That's what keeps them in this game or even could win. It's not easy to go to the shoe. And think about that. How about they were coming for his life day? Wanted to get rid of this guy after he loses to Michigan. All it takes is the playoffs, win it all, and they love him again. So until a new season starts.
Yeah, it's honeymoon again for Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
Day together, yeah.
That guy was like, yeah, he was loving it. But I think Texas defense is really – Anthony Hill, that guy's an unbelievable linebacker. I think he had 120 tackles,
yeah.
8 sacks. He's huge. They have a few great D-line and even the secondary. So I think Texas is live doing. I think it's tight, and especially early the under here.